Retired elite sniper Chris Hendricks lives alone on a farm with her rebellious teenage daughter Anya, who has a love for archery.
It's mindless.
Despite Chris's experience and knowledge as a sniper,
Look for a pattern.
Anya refuses to be patient enough to take lessons from her mother. Anya's boyfriend comes by to accompany Anya to school, and Chris reminds them of the dinner she has planned for Anya's 16th birthday before they head off together on Anya's motorcycle with plans to sneak out that night. As Chris watches them leave, she spots a white truck a distance off her farm, which is suspicious since she also saw the same white van during her job earlier that morning. Knowing something is up, Chris grabs her rifle. The van approaches the farm, and a man steps out. Chris jumps into her tractor, then drives right up to the man, stopping short of running him over. The man introduces himself as Peter Phillips, a realtor, but Chris knows any normal person would have flinched in such a high-stress situation. Chris checks his van and slips a radio into his glove box. Peter talks about his interest in purchasing her farm, offering up to $350,000 and a fresh start, but Chris refuses his offer without a thought. As Peter goes to leave, Chris rushes inside and grabs a high-powered sniper rifle, and just before Peter can clear the farm, she shoots his tire, causing the truck to flip. Chris radios to him, giving him 10 seconds to reveal who he really is, and just as she suspected, Peter grabs his own rifle and opens fire on Chris. Chris keeps him pinned down before jumping back into the tractor and ramming the van, but Peter disappears. Thinking fast, Chris calls the number on the card he handed to her, revealing he's hiding in a ditch nearby. He quickly hangs up, then sends a message for backup before grabbing his scope and scanning the area for any sign of Chris, but Chris has already tracked his location and comes up behind him with her rifle. Realizing he's caught, Peter calls her by her call sign Voodoo Child, then announces, "Long live the dragon," before Chris shoots him dead. Wasting no time, Chris packs all her valuables into her truck and lights Peter's truck on fire. She then calls Anya's school, claiming they have a family emergency, only to learn that Anya hasn't been to school in 2 weeks. Chris drives to a spot Anya usually hangs out, but still sees no sign of her. With this, Chris calls up an old sniper buddy named Malcolm, call sign White Dog, now certain that her arch-rival, only known as the Dragon, is still alive and targeting her. She wants her old team reassembled, and despite being 16 years without contact, she urges him to make it work. Chris then starts organizing her weapons and barricading her home, preparing for the inevitable battle. She still can't get through to either Anya or Michael, leaving them voicemails begging them to call. Turns out Anya and Michael are camping out in the woods, not a care in the world. Michael even gives her a ring, completely unaware of the danger they are in. The two spend the night together. The next morning, the danger has found them. A sniper neatly tucked away in tall grass a distance off has them both in his scope. A chopper passes overhead, so Anya wants to go see what it is despite Michael begging her to stay. Anya takes off on her bike, promising to be back soon, but as soon as she disappears, the sniper takes aim. His first shot passes close by, leaving Michael confused. But the second shot hits his mark, taking him out. The sniper then steps into the open, and it's none other than the Dragon himself. A fully geared out Chris spots the chopper approaching, but it turns out to be the backup she called for, a team of 5 snipers led by her old teammate White Dog. Only he from the old unit was able to make it, as the others are all busy all over the world, so along with him is Milk, Calda, Nico, and Junior, White Dog's son. Upon hearing White Dog call Chris by her call sign Voodoo Child, Nico doesn't want any part of the mission. They can't win going up against the Dragon. Worse, there's a $10 million bounty on Chris's head. He thought he was just doing a small favor, but wants no part of this. He leaves, but the others decide to stick around. Inside the home, Chris tells them about Peter, the assassin she killed, and the message he sent from his cell phone. She then takes a secret crawl space out to the barn where Calda has taken up post. Chris warns that things may get very dangerous, but all Calda knows is that a mother and daughter need protecting. When Anya gets back home, she is greeted by the burnt-out truck at the edge of the farm and continues making her way. Not long after, Calda picks up movement along the tree line, requesting permission to engage until Chris realizes it's Anya, who's exposed. While the other snipers give cover, Chris hits the tree next to her, hoping to make her get down, but Anya soon falls. They think she's been hit, but it's actually Nico in a ghillie suit. He He warns that things are dangerous, and she should stay low until Chris comes to get her. Nico slips away, and soon Chris comes to get Anya and lead her back into the house. Chris remembers Michael and, unaware he's already dead, she decides to go looking for him. She gives Anya a ballistic vest, explaining that bad men have come looking for revenge for something that happened a long time ago. Her friends are from the army and will keep her safe, so she wants Anya to stay with them while she goes looking for Michael. She trusts the men with Anya's life, but as soon as she completes her sentence, White Dog is hit by a sniper round, leaving Junior and Chris devastated. With this, Chris orders Calda back to the house while Nico and Milk start scanning for the sniper. Inside, Calda gets Anya out of the room before Chris removes the round from White Dog's head. From the caliber, he can be no further than 600 meters out. Chris then uses an arrow to force through White Dog's head wound to determine the trajectory, but when that doesn't work, she decides to use the corpse to draw fire. She and Calda prop the body up, but the dragon fires from up close, killing Calda. As the team regroups, they suddenly spot Anya riding away on her bike. Chris quickly catches up, and they soon stumble upon Michael's body. Anya breaks down, unable to leave his side, so Chris decides they will spend the night there with him. Night falls, and the surviving snipers are still keeping watch. Suddenly, gunshots begin destroying the floodlights outside, so the guys kill all the lights and huddle down. Junior calls the chopper pilot for an evac, only to learn they'll have to hold out until morning. At the campsite, Anya thinks she doesn't know Chris at all. She wants to know how many people she killed, and deciding not to beat around the bush, Chris reveals she has 116 confirmed kills, but Anya shouldn't be surprised as she knew she was a soldier. Anya then reveals the reason she hates Chris. During Chris's deployment, Anya tried and failed to get in contact with her, especially when she needed her mother the most. Whenever she called, she always got through to Milk, who read her bedtime stories as a child, way more than Chris ever did. The revelation really seems to hit Chris, and tears well up in her eyes, but she says nothing. The next morning, Chris and Anya are alerted by the sound of a chopper as their evac has arrived, but the dragon shoots the chopper's engine, causing it to crash. Chris orders Anya to return to the house, but as she begins to ride away, the dragon hits her, throwing her from the bike before barely missing Chris. Anya survives as the round hit her bike, and the dragon soon disappears once more. At the house, Junior wants to leave, but Milk urges him to stay, put his inside is the safest place. Despite this, Milk can see the look of fear on him, so he hands Junior a pistol for added protection. With his rifle at the ready, Junior starts moving away from the farm. Chris has gotten herself a ghillie suit, now trying to stalk the dragon and catch him off guard. There's no sign of him, so she pushes deeper into the tree line, but the dragon already has eyes on her. She continues creeping through the thick grass when suddenly the dragon appears, holding her at gunpoint. The dragon has her disarm herself, but instead of anger, he is disappointed that she didn't see him coming. Dragon then reveals that he's come to claim what's his, which turns out to be Anya, leaving Chris in tears, begging him to leave her alone. Dragon refuses, his plan to wipe out her entire team, kill her, and take Anya with him where she belongs. The dragon then initiates a sadistic game of sniper roulette, which he forces Chris to participate in while she is captured by him. He leaves her rifle in one round. Chris loads it in a second, but the dragon has already disappeared. Junior has made it into the tree line, but he doesn't get far before a shot almost takes him out. With her rifle, Chris picks out the dragon stalking Junior, then starts moving towards them to get a better shot. She picks up Junior again, this time taking cover behind a tree. She silently urges him to wait, but Junior starts moving once more and ends up getting shot by the dragon. At the home, Milk hears a sound and readies his rifle only to see Anya sneaking back into the house, and they pass each other without saying a word. Chris finds Junior, who is lucky to still be alive but suffering from a stomach wound. She plans to get him back to the house, so she drags him to his feet, demanding he move, but the dragon shoots Junior again in the leg, obviously toying with him. As Chris tries to get her bearings, Nico radios to her. He has been stalking the dragon. He takes aim and fires but misses, and the dragon is gone again. Nico regroups with Chris and Junior, who is not looking good, so they start moving towards the house. Nico spots a glare in the distance, drops to the grass, and takes aim. His shot hits the target, but as they scan the area, Chris realizes too late it's a decoy, and Nico is killed. At the home, Milk and Anya sit to talk. He tells her a story about how Chris took out 2 terrorists on a motorbike with 1 shot. The shot was amazing, but it was her composure during the chaos that impressed him. Not long after, Chris arrives with Junior, who's still hanging on to dear life. As Milk tends to his injury, Chris pours gasoline from the barn through the secret passage. Milk tries his best with Junior. He thinks they need to get moving to keep Anya safe, but Chris reveals Anya is in no danger. This makes Anya suspect that Chris is hiding something, and after a while she thinks she understands what's happening. Anya rushes out the front door, gunshots flying past her but meant to keep Chris and Milk behind cover. Milk wants to go after her, but Chris then reveals that Anya is the dragon's daughter. She further reveals that during a mission 16 years ago, her entire team was ambushed by the dragon and his rebels. After all the men were killed, the women were forced to play his sadistic rifle roulette until she alone survived. One day, though, she managed to escape. However, by then she was already pregnant. Hearing this, Milk urges her to go after Anya, and he plans to catch the dragon, no matter how good he is. Chris rushes from the house and immediately comes under fire as she jumps into her truck. She catches up with Anya, yelling at her to get in, but a gunshot disables the truck. Chris jumps out and immediately starts scanning the tree line from where the shot came, but as soon as she spots the dragon, he fires, hitting her scope. Milk sets fire to the barn, but thinking he's under attack, Anya starts racing back to the barn. At that same time, the dragon reveals himself, casually approaching the house, confident that Chris won't be able to hit him. Chris spots him and tries to line him up in her damaged scope, but it's no use. Milk takes up position at the front door. He spots the dragon, fires and misses, and the dragon quick-scopes him in the arm. By this time, Anya gets to the house and rushes inside. The dragon approaches to finish off Milk when Anya reappears with her bow and manages to hit the dragon in his leg, dropping him. He can't push the house as Chris keeps firing close to him despite her broken scope, and the 2 trade bullets. Anya comes to check for Chris, but the dragon holds her at gunpoint. Despite this, Anya begs him to spare Milk's life. Hearing this, the dragon gives Anya a choice, her mother or Milk. Anya rushes inside and grabs Milk and leads him from the house, and the dragon hands her a red bandana to give to Chris. When Anya hands it to Chris, she knows exactly what it means. A duel, shot for shot until the last man stands. Anya reminds her she has no scope, but Chris has Anya, handing her binoculars to be her spotter. Realizing Chris needs her, Anya agrees. Chris has the first shot, so Anya gives her the distance and as much info as she can, but Chris misses. It's the dragon's turn, and his shot is too close for comfort despite the distance. Chris prepares once more, and Anya starts giving her the info, but to make things worse, the rain begins to pour. Despite this, Anya does her best, and Chris takes aim and fires. Anya tells her she missed. She begs Chris to hide or run away, but Chris is determined to see things to the end once and for all. The dragon takes aim, and his shot comes so close Chris could feel the wind. Suddenly, the dragon falls over as it turns out Chris's shot had hit its mark. Milk breaks out into laughter, and Chris breathes a sigh of relief, a weight finally lifted off her shoulders. That's it for today's recap. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe for more insane movie stories. YouTube thinks you'll love the video on screen, so click to enjoy.